Hey everybody, it's Coach Richard Wharton here. I'm here with my wife Tracy, and today what we're going to do in the Online Bike Coach Daily Ditty is I'm actually going to show you how we use the Moxy Monitor to set up an appropriate warm-up. We've got the Moxie on Tracy's left leg right over here, and you can see it's right here. All right, so we're going to very surreptitiously plug it in and use it. And if you look at the screen, what you'll see is we've got the PerfPro Studio dashboard set up for saturated muscle oxygen and total hemoglobin. So we're going to go ahead and start, and we're going to go through a period of rising percent threshold based interval, and then we're going to do a hard interval, and then we're going to do a recovery. And what you're going to see is saturated muscle oxygen will start at a level, and in this case it's reading about 65%. It's going to dive as we increase our intensity. It's going to dive really low when we get into the big hard interval. And then she's going to ghost pedal for a period of time, and we're going to watch that SMO2 go back up. Now the goal is to try and find the optimal duration and intensity combination that gets her what I call the highest active saturated muscle oxygen. Okay, when we get there, we know that the body is ready and we can begin the rest of the intervals for the rest of the hour. Let's get started. Okay, so we're about 50 seconds away from our first real strain interval. And I call these pick-me-ups because what we're trying to do is pursue high intensity for about 30 seconds, and then we're going to back off and go into a bit of a ghost pedal in order to let the SMO2 go down and then give it a chance to rebound. Now, it's the exact same idea with heart rate. As intensity goes up, heart rate goes up, but as intensity goes down, heart rate will also go down. The difference is that SMO2 tends to be a lot more sensitive. So here we are with about 10 seconds left. Tracy's at 45%, 44% on her SMO2. Her hemoglobin count is in the mid to low 12s. So here we go. It's a little bit of a back off. Okay, 20 seconds. She's at a 0% slope. She's going to get a slight little rebound. And here we go. 5, 4, 3, go, go, go. Pick it up, 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 pick it up. All right, here she goes. She's going to go hard. She's 160%, 150%. Shift gears one more time. That's it. Good. Keep going. She's at 46%. Notice it's diving. 44, 42, 39. She's still dropping. She's still dropping. She's still dropping. That's good. That's good. 34%, 32%. Almost there. 2 seconds. And ghost pedal. Nice. Ghost pedal, 28%. And now it's starting to rebound. Let's ghost pedal, even below the load as it comes back. And we're going to watch the maximum saturation occur. 63%. 70%, that's a good saturation. Slow down, slow down. Take it all the way to the 3-minute mark. She's at 320, 74, 75, 76. You can see that she's about to plateau. It's just a point here and a point there. But you can see that she has now vasodilated, and she is sending fresh oxygen into her muscles. She's going to go ahead and kick back in again. So we maxed out at 78% on that first 30-second pick-me-up. All right? Now, if we look on the graph, what we can see is, look very carefully, and you'll see a lime green. I'm going to clean up the graph a little bit, and I'll share it with you. Okay, we've got about 2 minutes before the next interval, but what I want to show you is the information that's coming off of the charts on PerfPro. If you look, you'll see a sort of a lime color or a lighter blue, an aqua color. The darker blue is wattage, the red is heart rate, but the aqua is the saturated muscle oxygen. And as the interval is pursued, saturated muscle oxygen comes down, and then as soon as she finishes and lets up, recovery SMO2 comes back up again. And once again, it peaked at about 78%, and it peaked about 25 or 30 seconds after the interval was over. So remember, everything we do in our sport is buy now, pay later, because it's an endurance aerobic activity. And so you can see now, here she is, her watts continue to rise, and her SMO2 is continuing to fall again. That's entirely appropriate. What we want to try and see is higher floors and even higher ceilings. So now she's at a 0% slope. Let's see if we can get the SMO2 to rebound just a few ticks. One gear harder. 8 seconds. Get ready. Start picking it up, start picking it up, start picking it up, start picking it up. Here we go, here we go, here we go. We were at 70%, 69%. There you go. There she is. There she's at 200% almost of her threshold power. Excellent. She's down to 50. Look at that. She dropped 6 points in 1 second. She done another 6 points. She's diving. She's diving. She's diving. She's diving. 7 seconds. 28%. 26%. Keep going. 25%. And let it recover. 24. And here it goes. It's already coming back. Perfect. Excellent. So now she's going to ghost pedal until we get back to saturated, to maximum active saturated SMO2. Good job, sweetheart. 62, 68. She's going to break 78%. Now just wait. There's 78. There's 79. There's 80. Like I said, higher ceilings, higher floors. And you can go ahead and start resuming your recovery. Okay, so here we are. We're going into our third warm-up interval. We've got about a minute and 20 seconds before we get there. And what you can see is Tracy's SMO2 remains fairly high as she is going through every interval between the intervals, all right? And furthermore, her THB is getting slightly higher and slightly higher and slightly higher. So if you equivocate, or you want to think about SMO2 as if it were volts on a battery. We've got watts down here, and think about THB as amps, total hemoglobin. More is better, and we're pushing current into the legs all the way from the brain. All right, 7 seconds. Here we go. She's going to go to 0%. She's going to get a slight rebound. Slow down. There you go. 56. 58. Here it comes. 7, 6. She's at 66%. She's highly aerobic. Here she goes. She's going right back up there. 70%, and go. Now drive it down. That's it. Go to 200+%. Shift again, and drive that power down. Drive it. That's it. Drive that SMO2 down. That's good. That's good. She's at 46% with 15 seconds left. 40%. Excellent, 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 excellent. 32%. She's doing it. She's at 215%. She's having a really, really good active warm-up. Almost there, almost there, almost there, and coast. 25%, and it's already rebounding. That, folks, is good vasoconstriction, followed by immediate vasodilation and a flushing of the legs so that she gets the CO2 out, the O2 in, and she sends that lactic acid bath back in to get reprocessed. And this, folks, is honestly where you get monocarboxylate transporters, which are the things that actually turn lactic acid back into energy. She's already back to 81%. She's going to break through the 83% window right here. Just wait and see. 83, almost there. Is 84, yep, I knew it. And she cracked 85, and now she can start pedaling again. We usually want to give people about a minute of recovery at a ghost pedal intensity. So go ahead and start pedaling again. She's plateaued back at 85. Remember, she got it down to the 25% range in 30 seconds. Pretty freaking good. What's her THB? It's at 12.27, and that's right at or near her max. Now, people ask me, do you need an $800 or $900 muscle oxygen sensor in order to achieve vasodilation goals? And the fact is, you really don't. You can pursue what I call my patented and trademarked warm-up protocol, which happens to be 4.5 minutes at low intensity, 30 seconds at very high intensity, followed by 4.5 minutes at low intensity, and basically repeat for about anywhere from 25 to 40 minutes, depending on age, outside temperature, other things like that, but a minimum of 22 minutes. That said, the Moxie can transmit on ANT+, it can also transmit on Bluetooth, and you can receive this information on your Garmin head unit as well as your PC, aka PerfPro Studio. Now again, we're using an older version of PerfPro Studio. We have the newer versions of PerfPro Studio on this same computer. It's just that we pulled it up for the purposes of being able to look at this graph in this way. So here we are, we're 45 seconds out. Once again, her SMO2 is starting to go back down again. And we're going to do one more good, hard, 200 to 225% intensity warm-up interval. We're going to watch that SMO2 dive, and we're going to watch the SMO2 rebound, and then plateau at a high level. And we then know that if we get back up to 85 or 86%, she will be ready for the intervals at hand. 15 seconds. She's still riding at an aerobic value. And here we go. Let's ghost pedal a little bit, get this SMO2 almost up to 70%. 53, 55, there's 60, wait, 62, 64, okay, start pedaling. And bang, there's 70%, right as the gun hit. Shift it again, there you go. There you go, she's at 230% on her bar. SMO2 is diving 8 points per second. Excellent. She's at 178 beats per minute on her heart rate, so she's really grinding. Now watch what happens when she changes her body position. This is very interesting. Take a look. This is a more powerful position, but watch the SMO2. There's 24, 25, 26. Okay, perfect. All right. Sometimes, the longer it goes, the SMO2 will actually dive down lower on a standing position because it's more powerful but less efficient. All right, so let's wait. Let's wait. We're at 69%. Give it a keep pedaling, just gently. About 10 RPM. 79, 80. Now when she sits up, that can also affect her SMO2 just a little bit because we're looking at the balance changes in blood flow. It's called homeostasis. 83. Okay, she's going to plateau here. 84, yep, she's going to plateau here. That's fine. We now know that her window of ceiling is about 84 to 85%. And what's wrong? 85. 85%, she hit it. Yeah, perfect. Okay, it just took it took an extra minute because of sitting up and other things like that. So, now, the next intervals are, how long are these?
6 minutes, but
okay.
They're only a minute in between.
They're 6-minute intervals with a 1-minute recovery. And what are you going to do these at?
Around threshold.
Right around threshold. Yeah. So she's going to ride them at about 180 to 190. And what I want you to watch is the SMO2 values, and you'll sort of see what a threshold plateau is. Now, one thing it's important to remember, SMO2 is highly individual. It also is dependent on location on the body, and it also is dependent on consistency in that location. So she and I have been doing this for I've been doing it for 10 years, she's been doing it for 7 years, and we know exactly where her best results lie. It also helps, honestly, to have less adipose tissue in that area and other things like that. So, when you watch this interval set, you're going to see SMO2 start to dive. You're going to watch HR sort of rise. The trick is to see if you can find where SMO2 plateaus and HR plateaus. I'm going to make a quick change to the charts so that you'll be able to see a little bit more of a zoom in, and we'll pay attention to it as the interval goes along. Okay, with less than a minute remaining, we're taking a look at Tracy's SMO2, and she's reading about 53–52% on 172 watts, give or take, on average. So it's kind of nice to see that this is something that's sustainable, meaning that by plateauing, it's got the muscle half open, half closed. It's allowing her to send fresh oxygen in and take some of the CO2 out, along with some of the lactic acid, so that she can continue to process it. And her THB is semi-suppressed, but that's also because she hasn't had a chance to open the legs. She's got about 10 more seconds. SMO2 has now declined as her power jumped just a little bit. She's going to get a 1-minute reprieve, and let's watch this SMO2 go up. Good work. "45 seconds. 64% and rising. "30 seconds, 74%. She's getting back up to max active saturation. 15 seconds. Now you'll see that it's not getting as high, and that is a result of fatigue, and honestly, it can be, I liken it to dehydration, a little bit of dehydration, okay? So here she goes, and we'll see you guys again in a few minutes. Okay, we're getting close to the end of this second 6-minute interval, and Tracy's SMO2 is down to 48%. Her power is right there in the 170s, and her heart rate is kind of up in the stratosphere. Now, what does this tell us? Her heart rate is high and her SMO2 is low. She's dealing with fatigue, all right? Fatigue is accumulative, all right? It adds up. And so with 30 seconds to go, you can see this number is continuing to fall just a little bit. And if you look at the chart, you can see the gradual decline there as well, along with the gradual rise in heart rate, all right? So this is a place where we're going to actually probably end up doing some work to increase her stamina and her speed. So she's right there. She's got about 7 seconds, and then she's got a good long recovery, and let's see if we can get it up. I'm willing to bet you the max SMO2 will not be as high as it has been. Let's just see. Nice and steady. %, 64. I'll get you some. Okay. Now, if you watch the chart, SMO2 is rising, as it should. Heart rate is dropping, as it should. But you notice it just plateaued?
I think it went down because I was training.
Well, it went down because you put a little bit of power on. Now it's adapted. Let's see if she can break 80%. 77. Yeah. The good news is her heart rate's back down to 130. You can see she's got a 50 beat window for heart rate. But her SMO2, yeah, it's crawling back up. It's crawling back up, but it took a little while.
Oh, there we go.
There it is. Okay, so just to summarize, when we do the proper kinds of warm-up, what we end up with is a dive in SMO2 and a recovery in SMO2. A dive in SMO2 and a recovery in SMO2. And each time we're looking for that SMO2 to reach a slightly higher ceiling, here she is at 80%, slightly higher ceiling, so that we know what her max active saturation value really is. At the same time, when she does those short, sharp, hard intervals, we want to see how low we can make it run and get down into the low 20s in her case. At the same time, what we're doing is, again, when we look at the 6-minute intervals, we want to see a little bit of a plateau. Now, if we start to see a fatigue line happen, which is what occurred on the second set of 6 minutes, second interval of 6 minutes, what we can then get an idea of is, okay, well, maybe if we backed it off about 5 or 7 watts, we might be able to get a plateau, which means we could get more repeatability out of it. Anyway, we're going to break this up into several videos. Thanks for watching, and enjoy the ride.